Welcome back to Flaneur Talks. This week we will be talking about nightlife because in less than a week, UK pubs and restaurants will be allowing outdoor service to resume. So things are getting busy again, and we thought you might like some ideas on what to do once things open up, or just a way to reminisce about pre-COVID days. So I am joined by Azaria this week. Unfortunately, Amber couldn't make it. So Azaria, tell me, what would you class as a typical British night out?
Okay, so this is how I imagine like a stereotypical British night out to be, just based on what I've seen other people do, because my nights don't tend to go like this. But, you know, you'd pack all your stuff up and text your friend and be like, hey, I'm coming over to yours for pre-drinks. And Mel, do you want to quickly define what pre-drinks are?
Oh, pre-drinks are the best part of the night. They are when you meet up, because in the UK, you're not allowed to, it's illegal to drink on like the streets. So you can't start drinking whilst you're going to the clubs or pubs or wherever. So you meet up at a friend's house, you have some drinks, maybe you're getting ready, probably if you're a girl. If you're a guy, you're probably already ready, like as you are. But yeah, that's my favourite part of the night. You have some drinks, enjoy it.
Yeah, so, you know, you go to your friends for pre-drinks, you start getting ready, you know, you pull your dress on, you're doing each other's makeup, doing each other's hair. If you're, you know, sufficient, you can do your own makeup and hair. I can't do my makeup for anything, so everyone's happy to just paint on my face.
Oh, let me do your makeup, please.
Anytime. We will record a video, put it on YouTube of you just going wild with makeup on my face.
Yes.
You know, you've got your favourite songs on in the background. You know, it could be throwback songs, it could be recent songs, you know, it could be rock songs, whatever. And you're all singing along, having a great time. And obviously the main point of pre-drinks is to, you know, drink a little bit before you go out. For some people, it's to kind of curb the amount of spending you do when you go out. For other people, you just want a bit of a buzz before you go out anyway. Could be chilly, and you know, as soon as you've got a bit of alcohol in your system, you're all nice and warmed up like you're in the Sahara Desert. And then, you know, you go out, nightclub, or it could be to a house party, you know, dance, drink, suck face in corners, I don't know. And then there's no
are you sure this isn't related to your nights out?
I have never sucked face in a corner of a nightclub ever. I can tell you that. And then after you're done, the most exciting part, going to get a kebab with your friends late at night. And you might remember it, you might not remember it, but you get a kebab with your friends. You might fall over and spill it all over the pavement. That's fine, everyone does it. And you get to know the kebab man, and then he remembers you, but you don't remember him because you were absolutely off your face last night, off of 16 shots of vodka and whatever else you had that night. So I feel like that's a stereotypical British night out. I was getting really excited, like building myself up for that for some reason. But yeah, that's what I think it is. What about you, Mel?
Me, the one word that comes to mind when I think of a British night out is lads.
Lads, yes.
That's literally it. It's just lads, lads, lads.
Boys, boys, boys.
Oh yeah.
You get the lads that dress in like the same kind of clothes though, don't you?
Yeah, they're all wearing like the same outfit. They've got the same
like
hairstyle. They're wearing the same cologne if they've actually put cologne on.
Links Africa, yeah.
Literally. But yeah, that's what I think of, is just like the stereotypical British lads, and not like the people that Americans think British guys are. This is like somewhere between chavs and like a normal person.
I'm thinking boys in like skinny jeans, but like they cut off just before the ankle, so they've got their ankles out, and like low like sneakers or trainers, whatever you want to call them.
They got the Nike Air.
Everyone's got them. They've all got them.
I have some, but I didn't buy them myself, so it's okay. It was a present.
Okay, that's fine. We'll give you a pass on that one.
Yeah, they're my driving shoes. Yeah, so that's what I think of. It's typically like, I don't know, guys at a techno club just getting drunk on probably beer because they're basic. And then Jägerbombs.
Jägerbombs, yeah. Because when I worked as a bartender, it was mainly the lads that yeah, get me 6 Jägerbombs.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Jägerbombs. And they try and drink them all to impress the girl they're with, and then he can't keep going after the third one.
I have a weird fact about myself, and that's that I can only drink, no matter how much I've drunk before and no matter how much I will drink afterwards, my limit is always the 7th Jägerbomb.
What?
I know, it's weird because, so I've had nights out where all I've drunk is the 7 Jägerbombs, but once I've had that 7th, I'm out. But then I've also had other nights where I've been drinking something else, and then I have, over the course of the night, 7 Jägerbombs. It's always on that 7th. No matter what I've had before or after, for some reason that 7th one always kills me.
It's your body literally saying, please stop.
No.
Please stop. No more. Sie sind das Essen und hier sind die Jägerbomb, please.
That was brilliant. I wish I could speak to him. Man, I don't know if we have any German listeners, but if we do, enjoy.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so that's what I think of. But for me, that's not necessarily the best night out that you can have. Oh, also I think of Weatherspoons.
Ah.
I think that's a staple.
I don't really think of spoons when I think of nights out.
I feel like that's somewhere that people go for pre-drinks sometimes.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that sounds about right.
Or where they meet up.
I'll meet you at Spoons, right? See you there. Yeah.
So you go to pre-drinks with your friends, and then you go to Spoons to meet up with the entire group, and then you go to the place that you're actually going. But what would your favourite night out be? Pubs, pub crawls, bars, clubs, house parties. What kind of night out do you actually look forward to the most, and what are you looking forward to the most when lockdown restrictions start to ease?
Well, I've done all of them that you've listed, so I could definitely say I've got a favourite. So it would be a night out, but it's themed nights out. It can't just be going into a club and dancing to whatever. I like actual themed ones, so I'll go into throwback ones, I'll go into emo throwback ones, but my favourite are K-pop ones, surprise, because you'll just see everyone doing the same dance moves to a song that's obviously choreographed. You'll hear everyone singing in tune, and I don't know, it just feels different because there's more of a sense of unity there than I feel there is at just a generic nightclub where, more people are off their face than sober, whereas at a K-pop nightclub, people tend to have a little bit more control over how much they drink because they still want to enjoy the music as well as, having a good time. So for me, it was meeting up with my friends from the K-pop Dance Society, and we'd all go together. And some of them weren't massive drinkers, so it was nice to all go together because at least we knew someone. And yeah, I feel the K-pop nights were really good in general because I knew the organisers as well. So sometimes we'd promote it with the K-pop Dance Society in exchange for discounted tickets or sometimes even free tickets. So it was a win-win for all of us, I think. What about you, Mel?
I mean, that sounds like such a good theme as well because it's not just about the costumes at that point. You're actually all working together and synchronizing, which I think would be way more worth the effort. I mean, I do love a themed night. I love any chance to dress up, but I am looking forward to bars because personally for me, my favorite is sort of just being able to sit down at a bar, with a couple of close friends and just have a couple cocktails and talk and just kind of reminisce and things like that. I love to catch up over some drinks rather than drinking to get drunk, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not like big on clubs because I feel like they can get quite claustrophobic, and I don't mind pubs and pub crawls, but again, it just depends on like who you're with, things like that. I do like pub crawls for the like themed aspect.
Yeah, they tend to be fun, again, if you're with people you know, but at the same time, if you're with people you don't know as well, so you can get to know them, just making sure you're a bit more careful with how much you're drinking if you don't know someone.
Oh, definitely. I think so. Do you actually drink a lot, or do you think you're like not that much of a drinker?
Not really. I mean, honestly, I like knowing what I'm doing and where I am. So I tend to drink stuff that kind of tastes nice instead of, as you said, drinking stuff to get drunk, if that makes sense. So I'll drink like cider or Alka-Pops. As much as people hate anyone who drinks Alka-Pops, I'll drink them for the taste instead of wanting to get drunk, because I could be with friends that I trust, but at the same time, what if they want to get drunk as well, and then we're all stumbling around at like 3 o'clock in the morning in, say, I don't know, Manchester, because none of us live in Manchester, and we can't get home. So I kind of think about it like that, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely like the mum on a night out. I'm always like super, super cautious because I am like just super stressy about these kinds of things, and I get scared that like something's gonna happen even if it won't. So I feel like I don't really drink a lot, but I definitely do enjoy a drink, and especially if I'm with close friends. I feel like I'll drink more when I'm at home, you know, if it's a house party or something, if I'm hosting, because I know like I'm in a safe environment, but not so much when I'm going out. So what is your favourite drink? I mean, you touched on like Alka-Pops and cider. I love a good dark fruits.
I was going to say, I do like Strongbow dark fruits because for a long time I steered clear of it because I'm like, oh, it's just going to taste of Strongbow, and Strongbow doesn't taste that nice.
Oh, yeah.
But when my partner was over, we went to Spoons a very, very long time ago now. And he got that, and I tried some, and I'm like, oh, it actually doesn't taste that bad. So I'd say that's one of my favourites. But I wouldn't drink it all the time, so my go-to is like Kopparberg or Rekorderlig cider.
Yeah, those are quite nice. I've kind of moved away from cider, but that's because I'm not big on fizzy drinks, like regardless of alcohol content or like if they're flat or what. I'm not big on fizzy, so I quite like cocktails, especially like fruity cocktails. Absolutely love it. But I think my favourite's like an espresso martini.
Is that a cocktail?
Yes, I think so. I mean, it's one of those things where if you hadn't have asked it, I would have just said yes. But now that you're asking, I'm like, is it?
No, it's just because I've never heard of it before. That's why.
Oh yeah, espresso martini. I'm pretty sure it's a cocktail.
Sounds cocktaily.
Oh, it's so good. So it's basically just like, I don't know, I think it's just like vodka, a coffee liqueur, and then espresso. Oh, love it. But I'm
not big on coffee either, so
I love coffee. Can't go wrong. But yeah, I do love a cocktail, and I love the mixology that goes into cocktails. Like the whole, I follow a lot of like bartenders on YouTube, and I like looking at how like different stirring methods can actually like change the taste, and like the reasons for putting ice in whole or crashing it or something, or like not putting any ice in till later, things like that, or chilling the glass. It's so interesting to me, like the different things that go into mixology.
Are there any that come to mind that you tend to watch?
Yeah, so there's a guy who his YouTube channel is How to Drink. Love that one. He's great, and he's not actually like a licensed bartender. He just absolutely loves drinks, and he reads a lot of like bartending books and like historical ones as well. And I love his because he shows you how to make the basic drink, and then he shows you like variations that you can put on things. Okay. So yeah, I follow his a lot for that. I think it's definitely like worth a watch. So yeah, do you like big parties, or would you say you're more into like intimate gatherings? Especially if you're going on a night out, or if you're staying in, going to a house party, like what would you prefer?
I tend to like smaller intimate gatherings, because I feel like with big parties, especially for me, I start wondering where people are and getting a bit concerned of, oh, we're on a pub crawl, have we left them like 3 bars back? Like, where have they gone? Are they going to be okay getting home? And all that kind of stuff. So I feel like if it's smaller, at least 1, I can keep track of people. 2, like we all know each other, we can have a look out for each other. And I don't know, my mindset is kind of more like safety first, more than anything else. So small intimate gatherings, I guess, would be better for me. But I don't know about you.
I actually got left on a pub crawl once.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that was crazy. But, I mean, it wasn't too bad, but it was kind of that thing of like, oh my God, I can't find anyone. I don't know, anyone who's about. But I was like old enough that I could kind of say like, right, okay, I just need to call people up, make sure I can find where they are. And obviously, like, if I can't find anyone, I can just get a taxi, go home, that kind of thing. So I was kind of like, and again, because I hadn't drunk too much, I wasn't overly drunk. So I was feeling okay. But yeah, I like a big house party as long as you know the people.
Yeah.
But again, they can get out of control, and then you have a lot to deal with in that respect. But I do sort of prefer intimate nights out, just because I like to use it as just another way of getting to just like talk to people and catch up with people, as well as like celebration. You just find out how people are, and you get to like catch up with people who you might not have talked to in a while. But yeah, I think I still prefer house parties, and one of my favourite parts of house parties is the drinking games. So have you ever played any good drinking games? Do you like them in general?
As far as I'm aware, I'm just trying to think back now, I don't think I've actually played any drinking games. I've only ever watched other people play. No, that's a lie. I've played beer pong. There we go. There it is. I've played beer pong. And I hate beer so much. This wouldn't technically be a horror story, it's more just a story, but I was playing beer pong with my partner and 2 of our friends that we met on Discord, on one of the servers that we're all on, and we were playing, and it was absolutely fine. The person I was playing against wasn't getting any in the cup, so I didn't need to drink anything until they got one in, drank a bit, and I was like, I'm going to be sick, this is disgusting. And they were all like, chug, 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 and I tried so hard, and it was so disgusting. I hate beer so much.
Same.
It was awful.
There's only once that I've actually been able to drink beer, and that was because I was already so drunk that my tongue was numb and I couldn't taste anything. So that's the only time that I've ever done that. I love a drinking game. I think it's fun way to like get to know people and to open things up if you go to house parties and you don't know everyone. Because I am that social person. I will go up to random people and just be like, hi, how are you? Find out a bit about them, try and make them feel more comfortable. But I feel like this is a way to kind of help if you're a bit more introverted. It opens things up. You end up talking, it's a quick way to get to know people basically, because you skip the awkward stage and you go straight to like never have I ever and things like that, where you literally just go straight to like the weird stories. And that's all, that's always the best part.
I think I've just remembered another time when I played a drinking game. Like I said, I've never played one, but I'm just remembering it all now. Like, wow, okay, I've played a couple. So when I worked at O2 Academy in Leeds, which I still technically do, but obviously not at the moment, we had a game. It was a staff party, and holy, we got drunk so quickly. And there was a game where everyone got 2 shots of Fireball, and there were 2 teams, everyone stood in a line, and basically it was you have to drink it, and then the next person, the next person, the next person, the next person, as quickly as possible, go down the line, and then the person at the end has to basically drink both of theirs, and it goes in reverse back down the line again to see who would be the fastest team to drink it. We won, but that was good.
At what cost?
Oh my gosh! If we've got time later for any like horror stories, because this was horrible for me, then I can tell you a bit more about the aftermath of that one.
Oh boy. I mean, I'm really big on like house parties and like just, getting to know people in the sort of party environment. And I mean, I remember, so like I said, like there was only one time that I've been able to drink beer, and that was because I went to this house party. And so at uni, socials have a lot of different sort of parties to try and help people get to know each other. Sometimes you have obviously like cinema nights or just get to know you events, and sometimes you actually have like the big parties. And one of the ones I went to was called a bin social, and I don't know if you've heard of that.
A bin social? I'm just thinking of a trash can kind of bin.
I mean, not necessarily. It's basically, so you get a bin, preferably a new bin, and you just like fill it with alcohol and mixers.
What?
And it's basically like a massive punch bowl, and you just drink from that. And so that's what we had on that night out. But with the with the film production society that we spoke about, I think it was in 2 episodes ago now, episode 10. So go back and listen to that if you want to hear some more stories about university societies. But so in that we ended up doing like loads of different nights out, and we actually did like a charity shop night out where you had to pick like another person and buy the clothes for them from a charity shop, which obviously meant that all the guys were going in dresses because we're evil. I mean, I love a themed night out, things like that. But house parties, so much fun, especially in uni or things like that. And I think house parties will definitely become a lot more common once obviously lockdown ends. But have you been like, are you a big fan of house parties? Do you like anything, like any particular type of house party?
As far as my memory goes, although it's proven to not be very reliable today considering the drinking games question, but looking back on it, like the most memorable one is obviously the one that you held a good few years ago now. When we were in school together.
That would have been back in 2014.
Oh wow, 2014.
Yeah. That was my I had a Halloween house party, and it was a thing. It was a whole thing. People still actually talk about it, like when I run into them.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. I won't name names, but I feel pretty proud of that.
It was a good party. I just remember Just Dance, I'll be honest. Rasputin all night, every night.
It's a classic. Honestly, if you're throwing a house party and you don't know what you should be doing, get Just Dance. Because people, as soon as they're drunk, they will 100% be going for it. Things like that, like Cards Against Humanities. You need a pack of cards, like normal playing cards, for basically any drinking game. Yeah.
You do, yeah.
So, do you have any horror stories from nights out?
Okay, so I mentioned this earlier, but Fireball, right? That was my favourite drink ever, because I was like, oh, cinnamon? Now, I don't really like whiskey, but I tried it and I was like, ooh, cinnamon. Like my stomach is churning already just mentioning it. That's how bad it was. So, Azaria, thought it was a really, really good idea at the O2 Academy Leeds staff party to go wild on Fireball because it was free. We were allowed, alcohol and mixers. And shots basically just for free because it was good. We were having a good time. We'd done really, really well generally. So we were like, yeah, sure, go wild. So I played that drinking game. So that was 2 shots of Fireball. over the night, I think I had about 8 or 9 shots of Fireball in quick succession because I was like, oh, I don't really feel it. It's fine.
Ooh.
Man, did I feel it. Oh my gosh. I was so dizzy. And I was just like, yo, what? Like, that was my literal reaction. Just, yo, what is going on? At some point, I was just sat there for ages staring at a wall, just dissociating. Because I was like, I don't know what this feeling is, and I can't tell if it's me being drunk. I remember there was a cha-cha slide in there somewhere at some point.
A classic.
I also remember like going to the bathroom and not coming out for a long time because I was just feeling awful, and I ended up FaceTiming my partner and just being like, help. And he's like, what have you done? I'm like, help. I sounded like a goat bleating in the bathroom.
Oh God.
Like, help. And I was just leaning over the toilet. It's like, just be sick. And I'm like, no. Ended up being sick anyway. But, you know, it was the cleanest throwing up I've ever done in my life. I'm pretty proud of that one. I muted him so he couldn't hear me, but he doesn't really get grossed up by anything anyway. But I was like,
well, that shows you true love there. Helping
Came
you
out of
through
it still
being
feeling
sick.
drunk. Oh god, it was awful. But I can't drink Fireball. I can hardly even mention Fireball without me churning my stomach like it's making cheese. But yeah, that's pretty much my horror story. What about you?
See, I heard something about, and I don't know how true this is, but I heard that if you have like a food or drink and then within 20 minutes are sick, that your like brain will associate that product with being sick. So that's like why people can't eat or drink stuff. But I only know that because like I think a friend, she on a night out, of course, ended up like having loads of like pineapple juice, and now she can't eat pineapple because she like threw up immediately afterwards. But it wasn't because of that, it was because of like alcohol. It's just crazy reactions. I mean, I don't know, I feel like either I've just forgotten how bad some of the nights out are, or I've just had like really tame nights. But I think one of my worst was at a house party, and basically everybody there had a falling out with another person, and it was like a whole event, and it was someone's birthday as well, so I felt really bad for the person because they'd hosted this and they'd, you know, got everyone together and all of that, and you know, nobody was really talking to them because we were all arguing with someone else. Basically just a lot of drama had happened in the weeks prior, and it had basically built up to this night, so we kept leaving, and everyone was like half drunk, arguing with each other and like basically getting everything out in the open. It was a very weird experience, but I think at the time it was definitely necessary. It was just a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine. Holy.
At the time it was like a really big thing, but now it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just a kind of funny story to me now.
Yeah, stuff seems like a lot sillier when you look back on it. It's like, wow, did that really happen for that reason?
Yeah, and I've also, I mean, I've made out with a fair few people on a night out. Some of them strangers, some not so much strangers who I now have to avoid. But, you know, that's all just part of the process.
The night out process.
That's just how it be, you know? You make that choice the moment you leave the house. You're like, am I going to make out with somebody that I possibly know and have to see again? Maybe I do.
Maybe.
I honestly just don't care about that kind of stuff when I get drunk, and then I wake up and I'm like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal, and everyone else is like, no, it's a big deal. And I'm like, oh, okay. No, so right, so it's not like a horror story, it's just embarrassing for me. So when I was at uni, I went to a club, and there was this guy who kept looking, you know, he kept giving me the eyes, and I was kind of like, okay, we're feeling this, it's happening. And so he then started walking over, and I was like, oh my god, it's happening, you know. I've never been that person that people like come up to. So he comes up to me and he like leans down, and then he says, are you so-and-so's sister? Because I'm not going to say her name. And I was like, oh my god, how is it that someone is hitting on my sister from another county. Like, this person was genuinely a friend of my sister's. And
That's so weird.
They had never met me before, but they just looked at me and they were like, oh yeah, that looks like my sister. And so safe to say, that didn't happen. He was not interested in me. He just wanted to know how my sister was.
You can't give someone that eyes and just be like, yeah,
I know!
Sister. So how about that sister, huh?
Exactly. That was just...
He did you so dirty.
He did me dirty. Yeah, that, and then there was another night out, and my friend's gonna kill me if she listens to this, but I'm not naming any names, but so when we went on a night out in uni, she ended up getting off with a guy, and he was hilarious. I love the kind of random guys on a night out, you know, the stories afterwards. He was just so much fun. But yeah, they ended up getting off with each other. And I was left with his friend who decided to talk to me for the entire night about his girlfriend who he was thinking of breaking up with, who lives in Canada.
Right.
And so I was kind of like, okay, this is great. And I was kind of like looking out for her, and he's just there talking to me like I'm his therapist.
I mean, did he end up breaking up with his girlfriend in Canada?
I don't know. Not that night, but who knows?
Jeez, it sounded like he was having a proper dilemma to talk to you about it all night.
I was kind of like, damn. But that's what you get for being a wing woman. Sometimes you have a good night. So, what is the best thing that has happened to you on a night out? Or good stories in general?
Good stories, huh? Let's have a think. When me and my friend went to a K-pop night out, of course, and we knew a lot of the songs there, and the place was pretty empty because it wasn't just one nightclub. It was like a nightclub with various rooms in it, so each room had something different, and the K-pop room was virtually empty. So we essentially had this entire dance floor all to ourselves. And the DJ was taking requests, so he basically took all of our requests, and it was pretty much just a night for my group of friends to just dance all night. It was absolutely amazing. And the bartenders
really nice.
were pretty lenient. Yeah, it was. What about you?
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, I mean, I think that personally, one of my favourite things to happen on nights out is when you randomly see people that you know, but like you didn't go out with them, because you're already like quite tipsy at that point, and you're like, oh my god, it's you! And you just end up having like an even better time for literally no reason. Because you could meet up with this person in the street and you'd be like, hi, how are you? But meeting up with them like when you're drunk is just suddenly like the greatest experience that you've ever dealt with. I don't know, I'm trying to think of like specific things that have happened. I think I've just ended up making really good friends on nights out. I don't think anything specifically great has happened. I really love going on nights out in Greece because again, it's just a small island and there's only one club, and the club doesn't open until 3:00 in the morning, because everyone who works at the club has jobs during the day, so they don't so it can't open up at like the normal times because they're still working. And so you basically go to bars as your pre-drinks, and they are honestly so fun. I once went and it was like a group of like English people that we know there, and some of them had sort of been on nights out before, so they were teaching me like the etiquette, like what you do, all that kind of thing. And we went and we had this Greek alcohol. It's not ouzo. I think it's called rakomelo, and it's basically a ouzo type alcohol, but it's warmed and it's got honey and cinnamon in it. And it's meant for like, basically it's a grandpa drink. It's meant for like sipping. And basically our friends decided and said, no, we're getting shot glasses, and we're gonna get like 5 bottles of this stuff, and we're all gonna be shotting it together. And I think I got like 3 in, and then after that, like I would try and shot it and it would come straight back out. Like it wasn't sick, it was just that it wasn't going down.
Oh.
Which is, it's very TMI and I'm very sorry for that, but so we were drinking this like for a good couple of hours, and then we like went down trying to like make our way to the clubs and stuff, and we ended up going to like a little kiosk type thing, and they've got obviously like a fridge with some sort of like Alka Pops. Whilst we were just waiting, we thought might as well, there's nothing else here. And basically we were all so drunk that we were just like taking them out of the kiosk, and we were like saying hi to the guy, but we forgot to pay. Now thankfully I think like there was somebody there that we knew, and so they like paid for us, but we literally did not find out for like days afterwards. We were just like going up to this guy being like, oh hi, I'm just having an Alka Pop, enjoy your night, and then leaving. And he was just like, where's my money?
Did you end up paying in the end then?
Oh yeah. But it was just like on the night. we were just out of it.
Oh god,
but yeah,
I can imagine.
Greek nights out is so much fun. I would honestly love to try a K-pop night. That sounds so much fun.
And I'd like to try a Greek night. We should just swap lives just for like a day or two.
Do you dress in like K-pop style outfits?
No, you just dress up how you normally would for like any club really.
See, I want to go like K-pop style.
Some people do. Some people go, corsets, belts, chains, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I kind of try and wear fashionable stuff anyway, so I kind of tend to look like I'm dressed for a K-pop night out.
You've already got that style.
I'm trying very hard.
Well, hopefully soon we'll all be able to have some nights out again. We'll be able to get back to the K-pop clubs, maybe even some karaoke.
Oh.
And hopefully some house parties too. I know I can't wait, especially considering both of our birthdays are in June. So we'll be having hopefully very hot summer parties.
Fingers crossed. It's been sunny lately, so I don't see why it shouldn't be in summer.
I know, been getting that vitamin D.
Oh, finally.
You actually don't notice how much you need that for serotonin until you actually get it again, and you're like, oh my god, where have you been?
Yeah.
It's been so long.
I mean, it's important to take vitamin D supplements when it's like not as sunny, just for your own well-being.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that will end this episode. It's been great finding out some things I'm especially looking forward to in the next couple of weeks. Although I don't really have any plans yet because work, and also I feel like everywhere is going to be completely booked up.
It will be. So I'm probably going to wait like a good couple of weeks or so when the whole excitement dies down, and just have like a nice intimate time with you guys and just go somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, thank you very much for joining me and Azaria today in this episode. And obviously, as per usual, follow us on all of the social medias. Azaria, your turn.
Okay, let's give this a go. So, Instagram is @Flaneur Talks Podcast. Twitter is @Flaneur Talks, and you'll find us on YouTube at Flaneur Talks as well.
Hell yeah. And obviously, the link for the website is in all of the social medias, and on there you can also find the links to our Spotify and our Anchor if you would like to listen there. So again, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week for episode 13.
13.
Yeah. All
13.
Right.
It's been that long already. Wow.
I know. Can't believe it.
See you later, guys.
Bye.